Well, hey there, stranger.
Let's just say.
So, today we're going to install the 38-gallon fuel tank in our Ford F150. Shoot, boy, I tell you what. This video is going to be kind of a how-to, but this ended up kind of turning into a progress report video, so really just grab yourself a thing of popcorn, maybe a beer or two, and sit back and watch me flop around like a fish out of water. It's an LMC truck fuel tank. Yeah, as soon as I get home, I got all my parts. Fuel tank is ready to be installed. It's raining, so I'm working under the garage here, so I might actually back this guy up a little bit more since I have room. I'm gonna do that because I want to work here and not out there. So this JB weld here is set up, and by the time I get ready to go to California, that'll be fully cured out 100%. Just that's for just whatever. I got some brushes here, some flux, and I have some solder that I'm going to use to the fuel tank has to be modified. Not the fuel tank, but the sender has to be modified, or else you're not going to pick up all your fuel. And this little pipe here gets put in. It lengthens the sender unit, and I'm going to solder those two together. So that's what that's all about. So this first step, I'm going to bring this guy back a little bit more, but this trailer hitch needs to go, and besides, it's not even going to fit anyway, so I need to get that thing out of there. I'm going to have a new trailer hitch put on. It's not, for me, it's not a requirement because I'm not, I don't really tow anything, and when I do, it's, you know, safe enough for the bumper. So this tank is about 32.5 inches wide. That trailer hitch is 32 inches wide on the inside, so it's definitely not going to fit. You would have to widen it. You could easily widen it, make it work. You just have to put something in there, unbolt that, make a little spacer, half-inch spacer on each side. That might be something I'll do. Go to a machine shop and have them make me a piece. Well, isn't that just lovely? The last bolt there is right above the exhaust. The one right over here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put a wrench on that, which I think at this rate we're looking at a 18mm, I think. Help! Fuck! I'm only taking these out a little bit. Just like that. Alright, we'll take those out all the way, and then this one is into the frame. What sucks is that this thing back here is like a, you know, frame connector. It really ties this thing together, so losing this kind of sucks. Oh, you know what? This has slots in it. This can actually come over quite a bit more. So yeah, I think we can have someone make an adapter that's like a 1/2 inch thick, or I'll just measure the distance to where this is maxed out. We can always burr it out, but I think we can just widen it really, and then our trailer hitch will go back in there. I want this in here because it connects this into the frame. It's like another cross member, but it also will protect the fuel tank. So that's something that will need to be dealt with. If I go into Mexico, maybe my friend can help me make something. The only thing holding the trailer hitch up now is the two tangs, or two ends going inside the frame, and then we got a bolt here and then a bolt on the other side holding it up. So what I'll do now is I'll bring my jack over here and support it. I'll remove the nuts and the bolts that hold it in. So we're going to go up against the frame like that. I might be able to get this by hand. Nope. Oh. Of course, the socket doesn't want to come out. And then what I'll do is I'll bring it forward and out like that. And this trailer hitch is extremely heavy. Mainly just this part here. So yeah. This is where having a lift would be nice. Something to that effect. Kind of gives you a little more ground clearance too. Okay, so that's a 7/32. We got this little contraption going on here. I want to get this trailer hitch out of my way now. Now that I've taken this thing off here, someone's going to ask, hey, do you think you can tow my car? Fuck no. Not with a 3-to-1 ring of pinion. I wouldn't want to tow anything with that. Okay, so this looks like your regular hose clamp. This is a 5/16. I got tired of finding a driver that'll fit, or a stupid flathead or a cross point. I'm just like, no, find an actual driver for this. So this guy's free now, and then this other clamp here, which is loose. I've also got a fairly new hose on there, so while you're here, or before you do this, order a new filler neck hose from LMC Truck. They're relatively cheap. I think I paid like 20 bucks or not even. I'm trying to show the actual removal of this tank. I didn't have this camera mount the last time I did this. They should have a plastic tube in there. I took mine out like a goof, and just makes filling these tanks up a lot harder. There goes that one. So we're done there. We don't lose our clamp. And then this hose here is a pain in the ass. He wants to come over. Ideally, what you want to do is just bring him over here, secure him to the tank, and then push it back up, or whatever makes it work, and then get your neck and then put it in here and derp. And then this hose here, I don't know where I got this fuel hose, but this stuff turned to like rocks. Like, it's It's literally almost the same in terms of flexibility or lack of. It's the same as this steel line right here. I could probably bend the steel line easier than this hose. So that is pretty loose. Got a 15 millimeter here, 17 millimeter over here. So it's gonna fit. It kind of touches the exhaust, but I'm gonna clearance the tank. I'm gonna have to kind of pound it in a little bit. The only problem I'm having is getting a little cocksucker to get in there. Ah, great. Here we go with a stupid speedophile. Bunch of fucking meth heads. Alright, had to do some hammering, some beating. Gotta kind of roll the edges a little bit and be careful you don't break the pinch welds. I hope I didn't do that. The exhaust barely clears. I pounded the tank just a little bit. I didn't crinkle it too much, so yeah. At least in the winter when that exhaust heats up, it'll preheat my fuel. No, okay. Yeah, there we go. I just test fitted it. I haven't modified the sender unit. I'm gonna do that next, and then yeah, I had to unbolt the exhaust to move it over, but it's not an issue anymore. It's all good now. There's practically nothing in there. This tank is junk. I'll probably fill it up with water and detergent and stuff, clean it out, and cut some holes in it with it full of water, and then scrap it. It's junk. I'm gonna salvage this clamp up here with what? I have no idea. Maybe a screwdriver. Yeah, I had to kind of fight with it. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, a big pain in the ass. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna quite fill it up yet, I'm gonna, on the edges where I rolled it, I might I might put some JB Weld in there, and just for insurance, you know. Because when you see the paint cracking, you're like, oh, Well, this video slowly turned into a progress report video. So I got it to fit. The straps up there, I took them, moved them over, and put them up top. Basically, I don't know what it's catching. I think the tops of the tank are riding up on the frame. But once I barely got that in there. I'm gonna have to jack it up, put the spacers in, put the washer on it. I didn't even get a washer on it, and then snug it down that way. So I bent the one corner here a little bit, so it actually fits in there a little bit more decently-er. So it's gonna fit. You just have to kind of be patient with it. And it's not a perfect fit. It's a, you know, it's an LMC truck thing, but look at the clearance. So we got clearance up on the exhaust there. The only spot I'm worried about is I cracked the paint on the one seam seal, and I'm hoping that that doesn't leak. Yeah, it's these rear tanks are on these trucks are a pain in the ass. I think what they did is when they put them in is they had the beds off, so they just dropped the tanks in and put the upper straps in and lock them down. I've pretty much filled that up with solder. The little residue on the top is some flux. I laid it on the tailgate and just kind of laid some heat on it and laid down some solder. This stuff here never really worked good for me. I guess I couldn't get it hot enough, but this little butane torch here has done the trick fairly nicely. Really just get that nice and hot. We're starting to melt our plastic here. Oh yeah, that's full of solder. That's solid. Okay, so yeah, I did tape stuff up. So what I'm gonna do is cut a piece of that rubber tubing there, get him stuck on here. I'm gonna take this all off now. I think I gotta use the restroom. I'm like over here dancing. Doesn't look like that was interfering with anything. Oh shit. Then take this over and put the fuel neck on here in a sec. Yeah, it looks like we're rubbing up on the frame there. Kind of beating up on this tank, man. I tell you what. There's, I can't show you, but there's two straps at the very top. They can be adjusted. They have really long studs on them. I'll probably run those out so that the tank can sit up farther. I think that's all that's really causing me issues. Otherwise, I can get the mounting hardware and everything to work. It's just a tight fit. So this should be good leak-wise. I'm gonna shine a light in there and make sure I can't see through it, but this guy here, I'm gonna put a longer tube on there. This is our uber duber super trooper sending unit. Look at that. That's, you know, kind of making me jealous. So somehow we got to get this in there. I'll figure a way. I'll figure a way. So we got a little piece of hose. This has got a 1/4 inch inside diameter. It's a snug fit. Basically, just like that. So with the installation kit, they give you a new lock ring, and actually looks nicer than the one AutoZone gave me. New gasket. So I don't have any lube for this, so yeah, and there we go. It's all popped in there, so we're good to go there. Okay, I got everything but the return line hooked up. Got the fuel neck set up. He's a little but it's close enough. Got the tank straps in. So I had to use my jack here to push the tank up. Basically, he's not going anywhere. It's up against the straps up there, but it's oh yeah. I can loosen those up. I might just leave them as is, because once these get tightened down to where it's all compressed, these things ain't going nowhere. So I guess what the problem is see that stud right there, and there's another one over there. That's the adjustment for the upper straps. You want to release those, but I got them way up over there. Tank doesn't move around. I got a little bit of clearance of the exhaust there. Might wrap this, I don't know. I think the most this gets about 140 degrees, and this is diesel, so let's see how to kind of pound this in a little bit. I hope we don't have any leaks. Okay, the little nut up there, 14 and a 17 for this. So that tank ain't going nowhere. Once the thing gets sucked in there, I might release those straps just a little bit so it can go up a little bit further, but I'm not too worried about it being an issue. Like I said, I'm more worried about my leaks I may have created, but you know, I think the trailer hitch might actually fit up in here still. I'll have to take a look at that. Diesel one. This actually I got from a gas truck, but it was one with the 460. It was a 250. But yeah, there you go. As you can see, you've got a nice big mouth there. This filler neck hose up here it's difficult to get out, but you want to make sure it doesn't have any kinks in it, or else it's gonna be a bitch to fill up. But I got it in there, and you can kind of get at the hose clamp, but ideally I think you just take the bed off really and you can get at it better. But everything's tightened up and all the hose clamps are done up. Everything's good there. The clamp is as tight as I can get over there until I get a proper tool in there or something. Well, it shouldn't leak.
So, let's just say you're at the gas station.
Okay, so I got it to siphon itself. What I had to do was I sacrificed my vacuum pump. That thing's kind of garbage anyway, so I'm gonna toss it. But I tried pulling vacuum, it just wasn't doing it. So what I ended up doing was taking the compressed air. I think I shot about, we'll just say line loss, probably 30 psi. In there, and it shot all the fuel back in, and then I just kept, and then this just started filling up really fast, and I just stuck it right down in the can there, and it seems like it's still going. Yeah, caught some dirt already. Alright, I took my filter off just for the time being, and I've got a nice little stream going on. Yeah, so I'm got about half a tank, half a can there, and I got a quarter tank left in the truck, so I'm like, I'm gonna be here a while. Alright, so it's now pouring down rain. Yep. The only thing left to do is to hook up the main feed line, which I can do, but I'm still waiting on this thing to finish draining. I got the fan going to keep the diesel fumes out of here because it's kind of getting a little nasty. I unplugged my return line and pressurized the system, and fuel wasn't coming out, but it was coming out the other end. I was like, oh shit, forgot to plug it off. Alright, I've got the front fuel tank down to about empty. Looks like we took another gallon or two out. It's kind of just trickling now, so about ready to just reinstall the filter and take those lines and hook them back up to the fuel pump there, and hook up the line from the rear tank to the front. There's a piece of crap hard line on there that I need to get off. I don't know where I tossed my razor blade off to, but I don't even think that will get it off there. This sure has been quite the adventure. I ended up getting that one piece of fuel hose off. It was, yeah, it's like plastic. So the reason why I put this filter in here is so that when I run the fuel through that rear tank, or all the steel lines, I wanted to catch any of this debris here. So I'm gonna put probably 40 bucks into it, see if make sure she don't leak or whatever. And then what I'm gonna do is just wait till this builds up with stuff, and we'll clean it out. It's running on the rear tank right now, so it runs fine. Let's see how she does. I got about 6 6 gallons in there, which is pretty much empty. So I'm gonna go. I don't want to go too far. I'll probably go to the 76 down there. I don't know. I'll go to Freddy's. And then yeah, see how she pumps. That fuel neck back there was all at an angle and all bunched up, and I got it situated now where it's just straight in. So hopefully it fills up. Last time it was a pain in the butt. All right, it still smells like a mechanic shop out here. We've got no leaks. All that was residual. The spots where I had to beat on the tank, they aren't leaking, and the fuel neck's not leaking. No drips. It's good, and we're still cleared our exhaust. All the hoses are holding up so far. I went and filled the tank. It is to the rim. And I'll give you a little tip on this one, since I know where the sender unit floats around at. When it says empty, there's 12 gallons of fuel in it, because I put 20 bucks in, it gave me 6 more gallons, and I had put 6 in prior to that. And so empty says 12 gallons. So I filled it, put 24 gallons in, and woo-wee, yeah, it is full. But see, this is why I put this filter in here, because I knew that there was going to be some debris in the old line, and also there's some stuff in the tank from just, you know, goofing around with it. So that we got this little filter in there. I'm going to get some brass fittings for this at a later time. I think I just threw away all the plastic fittings, which is another shame on me kind of thing. In fact, I just need one. So I'll go to Ace. Actually, I can just go to Napa and I just want that fitting. But in a 5/16. I'll just go get it myself, because they're like, oh, you want this to fight? Like, no, okay, I want this in the 5/16, but I need this in to stay the same, and then they get all confused. So the only issue I had was filling it, and that's because I don't have the vent. Well, that's one reason why. The one station I went to, which was 76, they're up the road from me, and I wanted to get filled up right then and there, because it was starting to yeah, 6 gallons is no bueno. So yeah, I just wanted to get some fuel in it, put 20 bucks in, but their pump was generating so much foam that it would just build up right through the neck and kill the feed. So I went over to Fred Meyer's, which is a little bit farther away, but since I got 12 gallons in the thing, now I can actually make it. Their pump works a lot better. I got about 20 gallons in before it started clicking off. Until the foam started building up. So yeah, it is a full tank. At least I think it is. Let me do my calculator. Let's see, what do we got? We had 12 gallons, give or take. 24, 36. Yeah, there's like a couple gallons that you're not going to be able to get in there. So, you know, it's fine with me. Okay, before we end this video, let's talk about fuel tank venting. So when you're filling, as fuel goes into the neck, you're going to have pressure that's going to want to come back up, and that tends to stop the flow of fuel, and then clicks off your pump. Well, they put this straw in here, and it goes into the tank. There's a little slot that holds this end. It goes in there, holds it, keeps it from going in any further. And then this end goes up into your neck at the top. Well, I accidentally cut mine. I took it out when I first took the tank out, and did the same for that one, because I don't know, I just do things stupid sometimes. So without this, it makes it even harder to fill up. At least as far as gas goes, it doesn't want to, especially this rear tank, it does not want to fill up. So with diesel, it's even worse, because some pumps, they tend to build up a lot of foam, And without this, you get the air and the foam buildup, and it's just an absolute nightmare to fill up. So, I went to the junkyard, found a Bullnose, and was able to get one of these. I pulled the neck out there, and then at the same time when the neck came out, this pulled out of the end of the tank. So I should be able to just slide this back down in that tube there and call it good, and then this will get pressed up into the neck there. So I'm gonna put this in, and when I go to fill up, and I'll see how it fills up with the vent in there. Hopefully it helps get the air up to where it needs to be and doesn't keep clicking off the pump. So I should have grabbed another one for the front tank. I can always go back later, but it's really easy to pop that neck out of there. Really all you need, so I've been using 7/32 to take, well, I got them covered, but there's 3 screws under that little cap, or a little label there, and then a cross point just for, what the hell was I using a cross point for? I forgot what I was using the cross point for, but we got that there, and this I've been using to take the hose clamps off. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need, are these tools. Oh, I know what this is for. This is to remove 2 screws up there, pull this thing down, and make it a little bit easier to access it through here. Now I just put 36 gallons of fuel in this tank. I'm hoping that it's not all the way up to the neck, because I would hate to pull that thing off there and have fuel just drench me. So, and oh, I think I'm gonna remove this guy too. This also holds the thing on there. Let's see. Looks like we got a nut. Looks like maybe 2 14mm. Let's go ahead and pop those off. Okay, I know I'm not showing you exactly what I did, but I got the plastic tube in there. It was the same curve as this one here, so it went right into the hole there. So at least I think it did. I started turning it, it wouldn't turn anymore. So I think it went into that little hole that was in there, because you have your round hole, and then right up the top there's the one for the air. So, and then it went in, and then it stopped about here, and then right in here there's this channel. There's a channel along here that separates the fuel from the air, so air will want to escape to the top of this neck now. So we can just tighten up our clamps. I did remove that. Just makes it a little bit easier, so I'm not crawling around. There was a little bit of fuel in that neck, but it wasn't full. Now as for this bolt that holds this here to the tank, hang on, I just saw a drip of something. This bolt here, I got it with 2/13. It's actually a like a half, but I don't have half wrenches. Remember how I said I rolled the edges on this tank and I was worried about it leaking? There's a slight drip. Okay, I know what the drip was. It's the that clamp down at the back there. It's not tight all the way. So I'm gonna try and get in there with the stubby. Oh, I had it in the cab of the truck. I just wiped my hand around there. It was all wet, so that's what's running down and dripping. Okay, because I was like, wait a minute, no, this thing sat overnight full, and it hasn't done that. So the edges aren't cracked. It's back there. I need to try and tighten up some more. So okay, that's all our issue is. All right, well, trailer hitch fits. That guy back there won't go up in the frame, but it'll rest against it. So I don't really like that, but it's the only way I can do it. Maybe pop a couple of bolts out and throw some Loctite on them, but it fits. It's up against the fuel tank, but it let's just say that fuel tank ain't never going anywhere.